you're going to find that your body is going to react all the ways like you wouldn't think. If you got really angry right now, you'd feel all different sensations. You'd feel your muscles tight, you'd feel your heart pounding, you'd feel your breathing short, you'd feel all of these things. But because we know those, and they're sort of it's very common in society, those sensations, we don't view those like that. But if you suddenly woke up in the middle of the night feeling very angry with all that going on, you'd be very scared of that. You'd think, what the hell is going on? And like, this is a disaster. So it's about getting comfortable with whatever sensation is there, especially with panic attack recovery, which is where a lot of my OCD and anxiety and generalized anxiety disorder and all of that stuff journey started. Because when a panic attack sensation used to come on, I wanted to run away from that sensation so much, to escape it, to get away. And so that was the problem. You've got to lean into a panic attack and allow it to do its worst, allow it to make you feel the worst you've felt or whatever. And then as you become internally willing is the key word, then it loses its grip. It's the internal resistance, the opposite of willing, that means that it builds up, and that's why we get that situation. So we're learning to become more willing. We're learning to become more allowing. We're learning to just allow the body to do anything. When we were younger, we would be in situations where we were like, you might have got ill, or you might have bumped your arm on falling off your bike or something, and you didn't care. You got on with it because you just accepted that as part of life. But when we get older, what we do is we get to a position where we think, oh my God, this is dangerous, because this, especially with OCD and anxiety, oh, this is dangerous, oh, this means this means that, and so on. And you get all these different sensations going on that then we get very, very scared about experiencing, and those just build up and build up and build up, and then we get that whole anxious cycle going on. Now, what I want you to think about with your whole anxiety, OCD journey, everything that you're experiencing, is that any sensation you're experiencing is what you're experiencing there is you're just experiencing a sensation caused by the brain. Brain causes sensation. In the nervous system, we experience a sensation. That sensation, if we left the body, the brain, the nervous system to play out and just do that, we wouldn't have a problem. But we then intervene and we say, this shouldn't happen, this is danger, we must stop this, we must, and all of these things. And it's us getting so focused. Like Claire Weekes often said, if we left the body and the brain to do these things, for these things just to occur, for these things just to happen, most anxiety and nervous problems would be solved. But it's our internal searching and fighting and resisting. And like the same with OCD, when people come to me and they're trying to recover, they're like, what have I got to do? I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and I've got to get this done, I've got to follow that plan. And what if I don't? And what if I stay stuck? Or what if I don't understand it? And it's that internal chase. It's like treading water under the surface very, very, very fast. It's that going on. That's going on. But what's happening is we're learning to see that we can float, as Claire Weekes says it. So giving up that internal treading of water so fast under the surface to a floating. But how do I float? What do I do to float? How do I get into this float position? And what book should I read? That's the chasing. And we all do that naturally. We're all thinking as soon as we notice some way to get better, we've got our eyes completely focused on that thing, thinking that is the direction that I've got to follow. And I've got to follow this point, that point, that point, that point to get better. And if I don't, I'm just going to be completely locked in the state I've been forever. And that's the problem. People, when they come in to see me, they want a blueprint of exactly how to eliminate anxiety forever, so it never returns, they're never bothered by it again. And that's what everyone's focused on. That is the thing they're craving. I was craving that. I went from place to place to place to place doing that. So what you're doing is you're learning tools. You're learning how to recover bit by bit, one day at a time. There is a blueprint, but it's not followed in the sense of tick this box, tick that box, tick that box, tick that box. That rigidity that we want to follow is why the chronic guilt and chronic anxiety cycle persists in the brain.